Yeah, those are all very wealthy people.
Yeah,
those are all very... People don't understand that with sporting events. It's... The more important the game is, the richer everyone's going to be.
Yeah, like if you pull up the worst stories of sports fans and injuries, it's a regular season game.
As a San Francisco Giants fan, the Brian Stowe...
Oh, yeah, the concussion guy. Yeah,
he got
a coma.
Got put in a coma.
Yeah.
Can never walk again. Regular season game. Don't go... Here's the thing. Don't go to a mid-season game talking shit.
With shit still on the line.
Yeah, when shit's still on the line and people can afford to go to the game, you might get fucked up.
You have to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. We're going to get a sandbag for that or something.
Oh, we're good.
That's what happens when you put your mics on IKEA tables when you attach them. They end up going all fucking wonky. By the way, busted one of these tables because of a lost video game.
What game?
I think it was Rocket League. You ever play Rocket League?
A little bit, but not enough. That's the car soccer shit.
That game will get you frustrated on a level.
Nah, I don't even want that.
Where it was, you know what it did? It brought back high school level frustration of video games.
I play open world. I only play like 2-3 games on a regular anyway.
What game do you play regularly? What do you turn your brain on? Call of Duty?
Call of Duty every year.
Okay.
When it comes out,
you get the Call of Duty.
And I hate it. Most of the time I don't like it. But
because they used to switch companies.
Yeah, they would go from Activision to Treyarch. Was Treyarch? Are they the same as Activision? I think those were the two that they oscillated between. Infinity Ward. No, Infinity Ward is Activision.
Yeah.
And then I think Treyarch was the other developer.
Well, they would come out. I don't like first person shooters, so I'd never play Call of Duty.
Wow.
But Katie got really into it. Got during the pandemic, got like real good at it. And so I'd come in and watch and be like, oh shit. But then I learned that they were coming out with different versions. So it would change everything about the game.
Yeah. And then the multiplayer part of it too that's frustrating because you'll get sniped and killed or whatever. But as far as just a game, I'll just play, just run through. I'll do the whole campaign mode of Call of Duty. Like I'm one of the few people that's disappointed that the storyline in Call of Duty isn't always good.
You're the guy that watches porn for the story?
Yeah, I'm like,
well, this doesn't make sense. Why is he there?
Why are we still chasing this guy every game? Kill him. Give me a new villain.
Oh, they use the same villain?
Bro, that's what they've started doing the last 2 or 3 games. And it's like cliffhangers and shit. I don't buy a video game for a fucking cliffhanger ending. It's great gameplay and it's fun. But I'll play that on the hardest level. And then I'll go back and play it again and just be goofy.
Yeah.
And just do whatever the fuck I want.
Have you ever been recognized online through your voice? Has anyone ever gone like, is this Roy Wood Jr.?
Earlier when I would play Madden, when I did prank calls more regularly, 10, 15 years ago, because you're just talking to one person over the course of an hour, they'll figure it out.
And they'll be like, is this, do they guess? Do they go,
you sound like this motherfucker. I mean, your voice sounds familiar. It's that.
It's that. That's what they always say. Your voice sounds familiar. Yeah. Or you look familiar.
I'll never confess.
You never wanted to once be like, by the way.
Because I don't know you, and it's just weird. And Trevor Noah, I was with Trevor. We were in Chicago for a daily show. And the lady comes to the Trevor, and she just goes, I think I know you. And the Trevor goes, I think I know you. She was, yeah. And he just walked off.
And that was it?
It was the most Jedi shit.
These are not the droids.
He would not give her the victory.
And she was like, well, good seeing you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to help you if you don't know me.
Because he knows. The second he goes, I'm Trevor Noah from The Daily Show, then she's like, oh, well, here's all my questions that are going to annoy you.
It opens another portal and just...
He judo tossed her.
He's a guy that, on some Steven Seagal, use your momentum type shit.
He did like the hand thing.
The Aikido.
He's like, yeah, you're using your enemy. It's, when you get recognized, do you flee? Because Billions was the first time that I started noticing people notice me. Yeah. And be like, I know, and do that. Like, where are you from? And then I've heard from my friends who are very famous, they call it the 3-second window. You have 3 seconds from when they look at you and kind of realize they know you. You have 3 seconds to get out. If you lock eyes again, you're done.
That's fair.
If you give anything to them, they're going to be like, I know you from somewhere. But if on the first look,
Trevor is a master of making you feel heard and seen.
Oh my God.
But never breaking stride.
Like a politician. When I did the Daily Show, I felt like, I was like, I think we're friends now. Like after I did the Daily Show plugging my HBO special, I was like, should I call Trevor? That was...
I can't explain it, bro, but it's
a politician's
that shit.
Quality.
But because I come from the world of morning radio.
This is what I wanted to talk to you about.
Morning radio is about engaging and conversing with listeners. So my social habit is to allow you 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I will sit and stare back at you, and
while I make sure the phone call's recording to chop it up. Yeah, you have like morning show radio.
I'm happy to talk to people. I'm thankful that you fuck with me. So I'm more gracious than I am avoidant. I just have to be careful when people stare and don't speak. That's what fucks me up. Because if I catch you glancing and you decide not to speak, then I'm gonna go over to you.
Yeah. Have you ever caught someone Googling you?
Not straight up, no.
I caught a guy at a concert staring at me, right? And he's looking. And then, like, as the concert moved, somehow I got, like, near him, and I looked, and it was my face on Google. And I just tapped his shoulder, and he went, I thought I knew. He, like, did it. It was at Brooklyn Bowl. You
got to take a picture
Brooklyn
with that
Steel,
guy.
and I was like, I just tapped him. The guy was like, ah, ah. Also, when Brian Regan did the bonfire, I didn't know Regan, and he put his phone down, and it was still on, and it was Google, and it was my name.
But see, he's doing research.
I was like, I had to call him out. I had to be like, were you Googling me? And he's like,
well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And just goes in the dumb guy voice. What are you Googling me?
He should have just said, fuck you. Yeah, I don't know you. I'm fucking famous. So, Bob and Tom, I would argue, I can't speak for Opie and Anthony because I don't know. I wasn't an East Coast comic.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the live shows. I didn't see the touring. I know they put a lot of comics on. I know they did a lot of shows. But for what I saw, Bob and Tom did as much, if not more. I would even put them ahead of Tom Joyner because Tom Joyner would put comedians on his show to promote their stand-up.
Sure.
But Bob and Tom will go and promote here's 4 comics you've heard on our show, and we're going to go to 4 fuck you markets, and we're going to be there too. And
so that gets them.
That's why the part I can't speak about Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were there.
They did. They hosted the Virus Tour.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because the host of the show being there fucking solidified us as comics. And you go to Omaha with Bob and Tom one time, you can come back by yourself and sell 300.
Yeah. That was, see, what's crazy is I did Bob and Tom when it was dying. Like it was dying on the vine. Mm-hmm. And I went in there and did it. I think I was at the Comedy Attic in Bloomington, and they drove me to Indianapolis to do it. And it was like a bummer. It was a real bummer seeing them just not care and be like, write down your bits, we'll get to them. And it was like, oh, so Big J and I would make fun of it on the bonfire because we were like, you were watching 2 guys who hated each other, didn't want to be in the same room, and they were just counting down the hours.
Yeah, I know they had different priorities near the end. And I know Tom left the show. Ironically, still call Bob and Tom, but
yeah,
but Bob left the show.
One of them
Bob
left.
Stepped down. So, like for me in 2005, I got Bob and Tom, and by the time I crushed, and they served me up bits. It's like watching when Burr does Conan. When Bob and Tom was popping, like what you missed. When Burr did Conan, and Conan would just ask Bill one question.
I remember. Yeah, just
shut the fuck up for 6 minutes.
Yeah, you're like, you don't like Christmas? He's like, nah. And then he would just launch into it. Yeah.
Gone.
And what's crazy is I didn't realize, I was young enough in comedy, because the one I remember, the specific Conan I remember, was him queuing up Louis, and Louis did the internet on the plane. It's going to space. Give it a sec. Which I think, along with Opie and Anthony and stuff, put Louis on the map, where that's where I heard other people that didn't know who Louis was be like, I saw this guy on Conan talk about the internet on a plane going to space. And you're like, oh yeah, that's Louis C.K.
Yeah.
He's like incredible. But Burr was the same thing where I remember when I was such a big Bill Burr fan that I remember when Bill Burr went from doing sets on Conan to doing panel. And when I realized that he was doing bits on panel, I was like, oh my God.
But it's a skill.
Yeah.
It is a skill to perform comedy sitting down conversationally. It's a totally different perform. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like the fucking, what's it called when you play the music fucking unplugged?
Oh yeah, where they do an MTV and unplugged.
Yeah, it's like your performance version versus your fucking
when you're doing stand up
acoustic guitar.
You can put in the pyro and you can do the auto tune, but when you're doing panel, you really are seeing what's the meat of what are you saying?
Yeah,
because it's a conversation. You have to get to it. You can't do like the wind ups or any of the stuff that you do in stand up.
But yeah, radio was so important and so relevant that
Do you miss doing it?
Yeah, I do. I always will. But there is as they say, a return on investment as a parent that I don't know if I could still get up
that early
and just fucking do that. Like that's just and I tried it for a year when I was doing Daily Show, my first year, I was still doing mornings in Atlanta on a satellite box.